Wednesday, the 15th of February. I'm Laura Cornfield, and this is IBA News, broadcasting live from Jerusalem. All eyes are in Washington today, where the highly anticipated meeting between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Donald Trump is set to take place at 7 p.m. local time. Overnight, senior White House officials signaled a potentially fundamental shift in the American approach to the Arab-Israeli conflict, indicating that the new administration may be looking at alternatives to a two-state solution. Speaking to reporters prior to the meeting, an unnamed official said that it's not for us to impose that vision. The official close to Trump said a two-state solution that doesn't bring calm and stability is not a desired goal by anyone. He added that peace is the main goal, whether it comes in the form of a two-state solution or something else. Leading into his meeting with Trump later this evening, Netanyahu met with U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to discuss a number of regional issues, including Iran. Netanyahu invited Tillerson to visit Jerusalem in the near future. Shortly after that meeting, Netanyahu tweeted, "Excellent meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. The U.S. alliance has always been strong, and it's about to get stronger." Speaking with reporters during his daily press briefing, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer stated that aside from the Palestinian issue, Trump and Netanyahu will also discuss issues ranging from Syria to the threat posed by the Islamic State. However, Spicer's remarks left little doubt as to the importance the administration places on brokering an agreement.
As the president has made clear, his administration will work to achieve comprehensive agreement that would end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict so that Israelis and Palestinians can live in peace and security. The way forward toward that goal will also be discussed between the president and the prime minister. They will hold a joint press conference tomorrow as well, and further guidance will be coming on the time and location.
Ahead of tonight's meeting, President Trump has reportedly ordered a compilation of a dossier on all of the investigations that are currently underway against Netanyahu. According to the Yediot Achronot newspaper, which broke the news of the dossier, Trump is attempting to calculate Netanyahu's political health to determine if he is someone with whom he can make a deal. Yediot also reported that Trump's request came after Netanyahu alluded to the American president's sometimes unpredictable temperament during Sunday's cabinet meeting. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Ma'an news agency is reporting that the new CIA director, Mark Pompeo, met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah yesterday. According to the reports, Pompeo also met with the head of the Palestinian General Intelligence Service and chief negotiator, Saeb Erekat. Pompeo is reported to have discussed the security situation in the region, Israeli settlements, and the two-state solution. Mark Zell, chairman of the Republicans' Overseas Israel branch, says the Trump administration is not likely to dictate policy to Israel. In an interview with IBA's Ari O'Sullivan, Zell also expressed confidence that Trump will move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem.
The whole atmosphere for this meeting as compared to what happened in the previous administration is just night and day. I mean, it's fantastic. And the two leaders have great respect for one another. And more importantly, the two countries now have respect for one another. So I expect not only that the meeting will be a positive one, that it'll be amicable, that they will discuss a whole range of very important issues, which are important to both countries, in a serious and in a positive fashion.
What is revolutionary about Trump's positions regarding Israel?
Well, the main thing, Aryeh, is that for 50 years, every single American administration has, Republican and Democrat, has taken the position that they can define for Israel what Israel's position can be within a framework regarding the future of the Jewish state in the land of Israel. Okay? It's had different names: Rogers Plans, Land for Peace, more recently two-state solution, whatever it is. But that's changed now, because this administration, I believe, the core policy is not to dictate to Israel what its position should be regarding these issues, or even a framework, that it will respect the decision of the Israeli government concerning the fate of the Jewish people and the state of Israel within the land of Israel. That's revolutionary. Hasn't ever happened before. And I think it'll be a major contribution ultimately to the resolution of our disagreements in this area.
Well, that connects a little bit with the position of the American embassy in Jerusalem. I mean, Trump said he was going to do this, and reports he was going to do it a minute after he was inaugurated, yet there has been hesitation. Is this a learning curve?
No, not at all. What it is, it's, again, a reflection of that same policy I just mentioned to you a moment ago. It's respect for the decisions of the state of Israel. Now, there was going to be an announcement made during the first week of Donald Trump's presidency about the moving of the embassy to Jerusalem. There was a telephone call, though, afterwards between him and Prime Minister Netanyahu, in which the Prime Minister, I believe, and I've said this publicly in the media, asked the president to go slow on the embassy move. And that was a reasonable position to take, because there are things that have to be organized and done, and that has to be rolled out in a certain way, not just by a proclamation. So it's not that the president is retrenching or learning, he's respecting. And that's again, part of this revolutionary change in U.S. policy towards Israel.
Do you think the embassy will be moved in the end?
Yes, I do. In fact, you know that American law requires that it be moved, okay, ever since 1995. And the only way that it is not moved is that every 6 months a president, again, Democrat or Republican in the past, have exercised a waiver under the law to postpone it. Now, President Obama, before he left office, exercised the waiver for the last time in his administration. Come May or June, whenever that 6-month period runs out, Donald Trump will have to be making that decision too. If he does nothing, the embassy will move. And to actually move the embassy won't require any building or purchase of land or anything else, simply hanging up a new sign.
Okay, let me ask you a question about the importance of chemistry in the meeting today. How important is that really?
Well, I think it can be overstated, but and it was overstated in the case of Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, but it can't hurt. And I think there already is good chemistry between the two gentlemen. They met in late September before the election, and I believe they will have great chemistry today because they see the world in a lot of the same ways. They both have a kind of business orientation about things. And Trump's policy is he respects Israel's sovereignty as a nation state. I mean, that's important. Before, American presidents kind of looked at us as a kind of a banana republic. I hate to say it, but this president does not see it that way. God bless him.
The Shin Bet Security Service has confirmed reports that Israel's ambassador to Egypt, David Govrin, was quietly returned home several weeks ago over security concerns for his personal safety. The news was first revealed in a report by the British Daily Telegraph yesterday, but the Foreign Ministry has yet to comment on the developments and apparently tried to keep quiet on the matter. According to the report, the ambassador is currently working from Jerusalem, and the government hopes that he will be able to return to his post in the near future. Embassy staff were apparently also sent back to Israel. The Egyptian Foreign Ministry has also confirmed the report. In the meantime, the Palestinian Ma'an news agency today reported that the Israeli ambassador was forced to return home due to growing disagreements between Jerusalem and Cairo over the situation in Gaza under the leadership of Hamas. 2 Israeli satellites were successfully launched into space early today in India. The satellites were dispatched along with 102 others, making it the highest number of satellites to be launched at one go from the same rocket. Each of the nanosatellites weighs up to 10 kilograms, together totaling just over 660 kilos. The 2 Israeli ones are said to be the size of a milk carton and are intended to help researchers with environmental and medical experiments as part of an Earth observation mission led by the Indian Space Research Organization. Of the 104 satellites, only 3 were provided by India, with the majority coming from foreign countries, including Israel, the United States, Kazakhstan, Switzerland, and the United Arab Emirates. Turning to the ongoing war crisis surrounding Israel's national air carrier, El Al, the Tel Aviv Regional Labor Court convened this morning to discuss a request by El Al's management to block the resignation of some 8 pilot supervisors whose plans could potentially lead to the cancellation of all El Al flights. The court decided to temporarily suspend the resignations, which were slated to go into effect today, until Saturday night, in order to allow the 2 sides to engage in intensified negotiations. If they don't reach agreement by then, the court will reconvene Sunday morning. Earlier, management submitted its appeal, requesting the court intervene and provide urgent temporary relief to the supervisor's work action, which it deemed equivalent to an illegal strike. As of this hour, the latest developments have not caused any flight disruptions, but El Al is advising passengers to specifically check with the carrier to make sure that there aren't any last-minute changes. Passengers on an Air Canada flight en route from Toronto to Israel got an unexpected stopover in London today when a passenger who got out of control led to an emergency landing at Heathrow Airport. Some 6 hours after takeoff, when the aircraft was over Scotland, crew members on flight AC-84 called an emergency situation and decided to land the plane immediately. 10 police vans reportedly waited on the tarmac and detained the passenger. According to witnesses, the woman had simply gone mad and randomly tried to strangle other travelers on the plane. After an hour on the ground, the plane took off, resuming its journey to Israel. And if despite everything you still need to travel to the Ben Gurion Airport from the capital, at least you'll be happy to hear that from now on, you can do so in a much easier and more affordable manner. Starting this week, the Afikim Bus Company has begun operating a first-of-its-kind direct bus line from Jerusalem to Ben Gurion and back. For only 16 shekels a trip, residents and tourists can now travel straight to and from the airport, saving lots of money and time. The white and green number 485 buses will depart from the Rupin Boulevard down Jaffa Road towards the central bus station, also making stops at the Chemed and Shorish interchanges before continuing directly to Terminals 1 and 3. The buses will run hourly in each direction, 24 hours a day, with the exception of Shabbat. On Friday, the line will run until 2 p.m. and resume service Saturday evening at 7 p.m. In a heartwarming show of support, dozens of Israeli tourists are continuing to arrive at the hospital in Lima, Peru, in order to donate blood to an Israeli who contracted a rare blood-related virus after being bitten by an insect while touring the country. The condition of 22-year-old Zohar Katz from Kibbutz Yotvata has improved slightly, and she has regained consciousness. Last night, Dr. Asher Moser, the deputy director of Magen David Adom's blood bank, arrived at the hospital to join the staff of caretakers. In the meantime, the foreign ministry in Jerusalem stresses that there is still need for more blood donations, and the local drive here at home continues. The Israeli embassy in Lima has asked Peruvian authorities for permission to fly the blood units that have so far been collected in Israel, but the green light to do so has yet to be received. And a little bit of comic relief is heading our way. Renowned British stand-up comedian and actor Eddie Izzard is set to arrive in Israel next month as part of his world tour. Izzard is slated to hit the stage at Tel Aviv's Shlomo Group Arena on the 30th of March with his acclaimed performance of Force Majeure. The English comedian is known for his whimsical narratives, highlighting common-day situations and ideas. After reportedly citing his main comedy role model as Monty Python, Izzard was once referred to by John Cleese himself as the Lost Python.
If that was from God, he had run out of ideas. Beezus, Deezus, Enzus, or another plague. We've had 9, Dad. Plague of flies, plague of locusts, plague of cheesemakers, a plague of helicopters. What the fuck?
In local money matters, shares were mixed on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, while the shekel was mixed in foreign currency trading. Here are the numbers. Turning to the weather, and the forecast is calling for continued rain showers with an additional drop in temperatures. There's also a possibility of snow in the northern mountains. However, it's not all gray and cold. Residents in the Tel Aviv area woke up this morning to this magnificent display. A colorful rainbow, straight from Mother Nature's image bank, decorated the skies. The pictures we're looking at were sent to us by one of our viewers who just happened to raise his head and discover the beautiful sight. You too can be on the lookout. Chances are good you may catch another rainbow tomorrow. Here's a look at the highs and lows at home and abroad for the next 24 hours. And that's all for this newscast. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same channel, when Yael Shir will be at this desk. Until then, I'm Laura Cornfield wishing you a good evening and shalom from Jerusalem.